Have you ever noticed women who seem to go through life and everything just softens for them? They are being pursued, doors are open for them, they're kind of protected and considered, they're gifted things. It just works out differently for them. Ladies, princess treatment starts way before a man buys flowers or opens a car door, okay? So today we're going to get into the things that create that effect for you in your own life, and we're talking practically, okay, ladies? If you are new here, of course, this is Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. And I have a really good video for you ladies today, so let's just go ahead and hop it in. First things first, this starts internally. You cannot expect anything to come to you from the external world without internally having a certain mindset about yourself. Ladies, a woman who is getting princess treatment and who is considered regularly, they expect good treatment naturally. Okay? One of the biggest things that I've noticed about women who constantly kind of get princess treatment, constantly have things that just work out for them, is they expect that consideration naturally. And that doesn't necessarily mean, hey, they're entitled and all of that. What it means is they are used to a certain standard. They are used to living in that way. And so there's kind of this internal belief that this is what life looks like for me. I'm not surprised or amazed that things work out this way for me because this is what life is. There's a deep internal belief, ladies, not just mantras that you say to yourself, not just getting in the mirror and say, I deserve, but no, there's a deep down belief that this is life, almost in a way that is kind of, how do I say it? Unattached from the fact that there's people who don't live like that, right? They're so consumed with the fact that this is how life is that they don't even fully consider that there's people who don't live that way. Okay. They think that this is the standard. Okay. And so some people, women unintentionally train people to undervalue them because they're always shocked at basic kindness. If a man plans a date, she's surprised. I can't believe it. Oh, he went out of his way. No, he planned a date. Right? Women who get the princess treatment are used to that. She's not going to be super surprised and she's not going to be super, excited about the fact that he planned a date. She kind of expected that. Do you get what I'm saying, ladies? If someone speaks respectfully to you and kind to you, she's not going to be jumping up and down for joy and just happy for the little breadcrumbs. That's something that she expects anyways, right? So women who get treated well, they're usually not super amazed by bare minimum behavior. Just regular day-to-day kindnesses are normal normal to them. They understand that good treatment is their baseline. Do you get what I'm saying? So they don't expect anything less than that when they are going through life. And honestly, ladies, this is going to start with how you treat yourself. You cannot continuously neglect yourself, overwork yourself, talk negatively to yourself, accept certain things that you know are not befitting of the woman you want to become. You can't continue to do this, but still have an internal belief that you deserve princess treatment, that this is the standard for you. If you accept those things, you are directly contradicting yourself when you say, I deserve and this is my standard. Okay. So a woman who moves this way, she doesn't accept those things at all because it doesn't fall in line with her internal belief that I get treated well, period. This is life, period. That doesn't align with how she lives life. It doesn't even make sense to her if she's getting treated negatively, if she's getting treated in a way that's inconsiderate. That's just something she automatically gets away from because that's not my life. This is not for me. Okay. That's when you get in a situation where it's some stuff going on and you're like, this is ghetto. Let me get out of here. Right. Because it does not align with the standard of life that you have for yourself. It has to be a deep internal belief, ladies. And that comes from that self-talk, that comes from that self-treatment, that comes from your boundaries. All of these things reinforce that this is my standard of life and I expect good things because that's the bare minimum. Number 2, these women genuinely feel good to be around. Okay. Sometimes we get so caught up in what we get out of the situation, what we get from the men, what we get from these different doors opening, what we get from different income streams. We get a lot of times caught up in what we get, But the reason why we're getting it, right? Women who get princess treatment, women who are prioritized and considered, they feel good to be around, okay? She can walk into a room that is chaotic and has tension, okay? It's emotional, or she can walk in and people feel calmer around her. People feel warm around her. It starts to kind of level out. They feel more grounded when she's there. And honestly, she just feels good to be around, okay? People invest in experiences that feel good to them emotionally. And when I'm saying experiences, people also invest in people that make them feel good emotionally. Okay? People invest in that. Take even this channel, for example. If I was not able to get on here and talk to you ladies and let you know how you can level up your life, let you know that it's possible for you, give you practical tips, you would not be giving a time investment into this channel. The reason that you do that and you're willing to do so is because there is an experience happening between us right now that feels good to you, because it's telling you that something is possible for you and this is how you get it. Ladies, this matters in dating. This is in friendships. This is in networking. This is when you're trying to find new streams of income. This matters everywhere. People are drawn to peace. People are drawn to what feels different than their norm. People are drawn to experiences that they feel like they can't create for themselves. And I'm going to be honest with you. In a situation where you get around a woman that is truly like this, she truly expects princess treatment, she truly has femininity, she truly has that peace that makes her really nice to be around, you can feel it. It is palpable. I have friends that when I get around them, even I soften a little bit more. And I consider myself a feminine woman. It brings it out of you and you can feel it. Okay, ladies? So this is the experience that these women bring to the equation. They're not just coming and asking people for things and requesting things. What they're doing is they're being a person who brings a certain experience to people, and they don't necessarily even have to ask for things. It's just that people start to do for them. People start to help them. Doors start to open. They start to get access to certain things because they bring that presence that is hard to recreate. Number 3, the women, okay, who actually get princess treatment usually don't make men their entire world. Okay, so this gets so confused on my channel because people will swear I'm a pick Misha and all these different things. Ladies, there is a difference between the woman who wants princess treatment and she does it by making a man the center of her attention. Everything he says, he wants, he gets. That's completely different than a woman who wants princess treatment from a man, knows how to give him respect, but at the same time, she has her own world. She has her own life. And ladies, that's the direction that I'm trying to point you in. And the girls who just don't understand that, they not meant to have it, okay? Princess treatment is going to come to the women who have their own lives. They have routines, interests, discipline. They have their own identity. Really, ladies, it is very attractive for a woman to have a life that has a structure to it before a man even gets there, okay? Because she gets rid of that over availability when she has structure in her life, okay? She's not over giving to others. She's doing things in balance, because as much as other people matter, as much as men may matter, they don't matter enough for her to not have a life. Okay, women who are treated better are not going to be begging for time and attention. They're not going to be begging someone to make them happy, because they have their own lifestyle intact that brings them happiness. Okay, so they're not begging and asking and craving this emotional thing and asking a man for it. They create a lifestyle that does that for them. Okay, this is a woman that's going to feel more emotionally expensive. Okay, and that's because her time starts to be valuable. Her attention starts to be valuable. Her presence starts to be valuable. Why? Because instead of doing all these other things that I could be doing in my lifestyle, that actually they bring me happiness, right? I have a lifestyle full of happiness. I'm taking the time intentionally to spend it with you. So now my time and my emotion feels expensive because I don't necessarily have to get this experience from you. I don't have to get that dopamine hit from this man. I could be doing something else. Okay, ladies? So this is what I mean when I say, yes, have your own life. Because as much as, yes, men can bring happiness, there needs to be a stable level of happiness in your lifestyle with no man involved. It needs to be there already so that you are not the woman who is drained of happiness. And when a man comes, you're sucking it all out of him. Okay, ladies, you need to have your own world. And you cannot make a man the center of it and think that that is going to get you the princess treatment. Number 4, and as vain as it may sound, it is important. Women who get princess treatment also look like they value themselves. They look like they value themselves. I'm not talking about mindset right now. I'm not talking about any of that. They look like they value themselves. I don't care what you say, ladies. People respond to presentation. They may subconsciously do it. They may try to convince themselves all day long that they're not the type that care about looks. People respond to presentation, okay? And I'm not saying you got to have the latest designer. I'm not saying you got to be living a flashy millionaire lifestyle. But women who receive princess treatment, they're going to consistently look like they put themselves together on purpose. It's not going to look like they rolled out of bed and what you get is what you get. Okay? The woman who cares about herself is the one who gets princess treatment. And the woman who cares about herself won't allow herself to go out with her grooming all over the place. Her grooming not done. That's a standard. Okay, she cares about herself. She carries herself like a brand, first of all. So she cares about her brand, herself enough to know that, hey, going outside and not being groomed is not good for the brand. Okay, that's not who I want to be. These clothes don't fit the brand. I don't want to wear something that looks like I just rolled out of bed. I don't want to wear something that gets me the wrong kind of attention. I want it to be intentional. Okay. I need what I look like when I step outside to fit the brand. Okay. I need to look like a woman whose life is full of intention and happiness and well rounded and actually has style. I need to look like that. Everything about her look is on purpose. Even if you're still working on your finances and all that kind of stuff, ladies, there is a way to still get in that mirror, look at yourself and say, what can I do that's affordable, that looks intentional? What can I do that's affordable, that looks like I put care into how I carry myself? Because there's a look you got to have for this. Okay? You can't look like you've been put together on accident. You have to have pride in the way that you present yourself to the world. Okay? And it has less to do with how much money you spent on it, but more so to do with the intention that you put behind it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Once you get to the point where you can throw on some designer, and we're doing it in a way that, ladies, that's modest, but it shows that you may have a little something extra. Yes. Does it put the cherry on top? Absolutely. Okay. Because it speaks to, there's more to her lifestyle that we don't know about. There's some money somewhere. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and act like the designer doesn't set it off. I'm not going to sit here and pretend and fake with you. But what I'm saying is, in order to look intentional, in order to look like you put yourself together and you value yourself, it does not come from the designer. It comes from the intention behind it. It comes from letting your grooming have a standard, letting your look have a standard, having a care about your brand, your look, your person so much that you won't just present any kind of way when you step out the door. At any moment could be the moment that look matters. Okay, ladies, so the women who get princess treatment, they look like they get princess treatment as well. And number 5, ladies, if you want a deep dive on this one, go back to my last video, actually, that I posted about making people earn access, okay? Because yes, that applies to men, but that applies to life in general. So number 5, they don't overgive immediately, okay? And I need a lot of our perspectives to change on this, because I'm telling you, once my perspectives, like specifically me, changed on this, I felt like that was a huge chunk of my femininity journey, because a lot of times we try to create connections with people by overgiving. We try to create connections with people with giving them all this emotional access and availability and this loyalty and, overly investing your time and energy into people, thinking that that's what gets you the thing, okay? And quite frankly, it needs to be the opposite, okay? What comes too easily to people, honestly, they don't value it quite as much as something that requires a little more effort. It's a reward system that is set up in human nature. I can't explain it, but they need to earn the access. They need to earn the ability to talk to you on a deeper level. They need to earn access to your stories. They need to earn access to your emotional availability. They need to earn that, okay? And this is not just men. This is in general, because even in friendships, I notice that women sometimes, when they want to make friends with someone, they become an open book. Okay, they tell all their traumas, they tell everything to this person, trying to find a point of connection. And you do not have to do that, ladies, in order to build connection with someone. Okay, and this, like I say, this applies to everyone. I'm talking friends, family, dating, business. You do not have to overgive of yourself to create connection. People have to earn that from you. Okay, there is a way to cordially do business, cordially meet someone, cordially start a friendship, and slowly, as you develop trust with that person, slowly open up access through these different stages. Okay. And once again, the last video, I think, is make men earn access to you. But ladies, even friends, even women, this applies to them too. So if you want a deeper dive on how you have people earn access to you, go into that video. We talk about the different stages of access. We talk about how we allow those to unfold. How do you know that the person has earned the next stage of your availability? How do you know that? What do you look for? Okay. We talked about all of those things in that previous video. So I'm going to link that one at the end of this one, because if you want to deep dive on how to do that, this is the way you do it, okay? And I don't want you ladies to be confused. I want it to be practical, okay? So go back and check out that last video if you have not already. Okay, ladies, so I hope that all those tips were helpful to you. Of course, I'm not going to leave you without giving you the verse of the day. We're going to be in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4. But let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. Okay, ladies, I want to thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of Get 'em Girl. Y'all have been supporting the channel so much. I am so appreciative. And I will see you ladies in the next video. Bye.